You're now tuned into the Lady Charmaine Live Show, and I'm your host, Lady Charmaine. And as always, I have another great interview for you today. Today on the show, when you mix a former NFL player turned actor and a woman who says she's just got to have it, I'll tell you who they are coming up right after this. My guests today have impressive backgrounds. He's a former NFL player turned New Orleans Saints turned actor. And he also played Dr. Dre in Surviving Compton, Dre Shook, and Michelet. And she has appeared in over 30 independent films, including the Oscar-nominated movie Precious. And she is here to talk about their brand new movie. It's called In Broad Daylight. I want you to help me welcome Miss Chyna Layne and Mr. Curtis Hamilton to the Lady Charmaine Live Show. Welcome.
Hey.
What's happening?
Well, it's
Good
nice.
morning.
Good morning.
Wake your ass up.
Well, it's nice to have the both of you on the show. I got a chance to screen the movie, and we're going to talk about that because, Curtis, I got a couple questions for you, my friend. So we're going to be talking about that. But first.
Oh, God. What you want? What you want to know?
I want to know everything. But I want to ask you because you're very handsome, and I read that you were a former NFL player. So I wanted to dig into your career a little bit. How did you go from playing football to becoming a handsome actor?
Well, damn. Well, one of them I can't control. Thank you, God. I don't consider myself handsome, but I appreciate it. But the football thing, what you about to say?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, the football thing. I mean, it was a good point in my life. I that's what I grew up doing, was playing sports, and I got the opportunity. I was an All-American at Western Kentucky University, a wide receiver, and I got a small, quick chance at the Chicago Bears and the New Orleans Saints, and it didn't work out to my desire, but it helped me transition get into the entertainment business, and I moved out here, right after that. Football ended. It was very quick, so I never really got to play. But I was telling somebody earlier, I was like, I wish I could just take that shit off. But I am appreciative of my past and how it's shaped who I am as a man. So I got into it. I always wanted to be an actor, but my mom just wouldn't let me do it. She wouldn't. It wasn't something that she saw as a profession. She saw it as a hobby. So all you aspiring actors, I am an actor now. I'm not aspiring, and once you commit to it and consider it a full-time gig, you're an actor, and you have to take it as such and understand that the same rigors of if you're playing sports or anything, it requires that same mentality, that same commitment, and I approached it that way, and I've been blessed to be able to play Dr. Dre, to be in this film with Chyna, who was an amazing actress, and and to be able to play some of these iconic figures, because I take this shit very serious.
Okay. And now, Chyna, you went from being in Precious, and now you're in She's Gotta Have It. How did you evolve as an actress from Precious to where you are now? Because you've been in over 30 independent films.
And I was in the first Purge that came out last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I feel like
Plug.
I have grown as a person. I think that when you grow as a person, your work changes because it informs your art. And so, I've loved and been in love, and I've fought for love, and I've fallen out of love, and now I'm back in love. And it makes me a person who understands emotions more and understands human connection more. And that, all of these experiences and traveling has been able to inform my art in a much more mature way. And I think that when I started Precious, I was a knucklehead. It was like my first, it was my second film, big film. So I was just kind of, wet behind the ears, and I was learning, and it was like a lot of my talent and the energy that I brought to it was raw. And so, growing more in my craft and working more, and now coming to this character who's a mother, Now I've learned how to, connect more with even children. And so it's been exciting. And I've learned how to, as learning how to lead with love in my life, it helps me to lead more of my characters that I play with love.
Okay. Now, you both star in the new film In Broad Daylight, which is part of TV One's month long slate of love, lies, and murder movies. And it's also executive produced by Sean Moss, AKA Bow Wow. So I want to talk to you about it now. I want each of you to tell us about the film and the characters that you play, beginning with you, Curtis. Tell us about your character.
I played the boyfriend, Steve Peters. He is an all-American type of guy, a guy around the neighborhood everybody likes. He has a good job. He's hardworking. He's loving. He's charming. He's all these incredible adjectives you can describe in a good person, a good man. And no one would expect him to end up being what he become. And he's someone who's battling not having family support, not having others to talk to go to. He relied so much of love coming from Jordan, who's played by Chyna, and he relied on her so much for happiness that he forgot to love himself, and he forgot to give that same type of energy back to himself. So he took it out on her, and that's where things in different events of the movie started to change, and you started to see he gradually got more and worse and got more insecure and started to put his hands on her, and which is so wrong. And he knew he was wrong, but then he just got to the point where he couldn't turn back. He didn't know what else to do. So you got to watch the film to see how everything turns out. But he's a character that's flawed of self-love and not loving himself enough. So.
Now, I do have
what else did you ask?
I do have a question, because you play Dr. Dre, a man that was abusive in one film, and then you go and play basically a flawed man that's an abuser in another film. What are drawing you to these characters? And what prepares you to play
Dre's character, I wasn't. Well, I mean, I'm an actor, and Dre's character, I'm playing Dr. Dre, so I didn't even think about the abuse part. And once I was auditioning part of it, I mean, it's hard. It's tough. It's hard to play these roles. It's hard to get so deep and to find why someone would do this, because I don't relate. But Dr. Dre is an iconic person. There's so much good about the person that I was able to rely on that to get me through. And the same thing with Steve. I mean, there's so many people that are very similar to him that could use a story like this so they can go to, maybe they can help them get through something like this. And that's the point of films like this. I remember doing Surviving Compton and how much fanfare that was sent my way, and things and different things that had helped them get through it, or how they can relate to it. And that's the beauty about films like this. The message will be received. Somebody will see it, and it will help someone. So whether you're playing the protagonist, the antagonist, whatever the case may be, I know that the films like this are going to do something for someone. So I try to look at it in a positive light, and I get to stretch my acting ability because it's not me. And I look forward to humanizing people like this as the best of my ability. So hopefully people, when they see the film, they see that as much as they see the domestic violence part.
You're a great actor. As I was watching it, I really felt you in the film. You are a great actor. And now, Chyna, what drew you to this role to play this character?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The thing that drew me to Jordan Bedrell in Broad Daylight is how much she's so familiar. She's our sister. She's our friend. She's our homegirl from around the way. And she's somebody who, she's somebody we share laughs with on Instagram. And, she's the girl who loves Sephora, who loves shopping Fashion Nova. And to me, I'm like, this is what I love about this story, that oftentimes when you see a lot of these movies, you see relationships that are kind of dealing with domestic violence, but you feel like it's some middle America white, couple somewhere in the USA, but you don't think of it as like right next door in our hood, and I don't think that I've seen enough of these couples where you see Steve and Jordan, who they're this young Black couple in their 20s, and they're attractive and they're fly and they're trendy, and they have this, incredibly cute little son, and you wouldn't, we don't normally associate those faces and those lives with domestic violence. And I hope that, I felt like taking this role, I was glad that we can start talking about it within our communities and realizing we need to, when we see things like this, we need to call it out. We need to be proactive about trying to do what we can to save the lives of our friends and our family members and to save our own lives. And so I felt like this is a story that I am glad that's being told, and to also know that someone went through this gave us a really great responsibility and even more of a need to be a part of it.
Well, Curtis and Chyna, I want to say thank you both for coming on the show. I greatly appreciate it. And I just want to remind the audience to make sure that you tune in to watch Broad Daylight this Sunday, July 14th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And it's going to be followed by an encore presentation at 10 p.m. And again, thank you to the both of you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, I want to say thank you to my very special guests, Curtis Hamilton and Chyna Layne. Be sure to tune in Sunday night, July the 14th at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for In Broad Daylight with a very special encore presentation that you don't want to miss. The movie is also starring Bow Wow, a.k.a. Shad Moss, so you don't want to miss it. And again, thank you to my very special guests, Curtis Hamilton and Chyna Layne.